Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We all know that if we have a problem, an issue, and we would like to solve it, we have to look into the issue and we have to have an open mind, which means we get any information available and we don't take only the ones that we like and we discard the ones that we don't like. And after we gather the information, good or bad, then you put it together and objectively you look at it. And after you look at it, you're going to find probably or possibly what was the reason for the issue. And after you found out what was the issue, right, the reason, you try to solve it. But you have to be honest, because maybe the issue is you. And then you have to be honest that because of you, that's why this happened. And when you agree with that, then you can solve the problem by analyzing how you can change certain behaviors or something that will not get you in the same problem or the issue will come up in the future. But the key word is to be objective and don't discard what you don't like or feels uncomfortable. Otherwise, you will just get the wrong result, the conclusion of your investigation if you want, and then if that comes back to you and you don't like it, and if you do like this, it's going to come back as a boomerang, bam 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 bam. So you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be intellectually honest and objective, regardless of the outcome, if you want to solve it. If not, you're going to find justifications and you're going to be a weasel, and you're never going to find that, not never, but it's going to take, the process is going to be longer, or maybe you're going to realize it was you, but you don't want to accept it. So you're going to be living in denial, or simply you're not courageous enough and really you don't want to change that. Because if you really want to change that, then you will act, upon whatever you came up with to change. And if it's you, you got to change yourself, right? Your diaper. So I have here an article where we have the American intelligence, the chief of the American intelligence, or one of them anyway, and she will come and tell us something. She's going to make a statement on the war in Ukraine, and she's going to come to a conclusion. And the conclusion that she's going to come up to is going to be a conclusion, but the reason why that got to that point, she's not going to be willing to look at it objectively, because that would point towards her and her government. Therefore, she can't, show personal accountability, or at least her government's accountability. And she's going to try to find other justifications, and the problem will not be solved. And probably don't want to solve it. Okay, I talked in very general terms. Let's get to this little article. It comes from Ukrainska Pravda. And this is from today, March 9, 2023. Putin plans to wage war against Ukraine for years. US intelligence. So, okay, why? Did he mean to do that? Was his initial plan? What changed if that was not his initial plan? What changed that Putin now plans? Unless he wanted to plan to wage war against Ukraine for years, it was his plan from the very beginning. And you can find out if that could be his plan or not by asking this question. Would that be a benefit or not? Quick war versus a year that's going to last for years. Which one will benefit Putin? The answer is clear. The quickest, the better. So his plan that she talks about must have changed, if that's what she thinks the intelligence says. What changed that Putin's plan? Maybe she needs a mirror to answer that question. The American intelligence is inclined to believe that Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, is preparing for a prolonged war in Ukraine. Why? Why is he preparing? Is it because he did not expect all the 50 or 40 states that fight against Russia at this point will jump in 100%? I think that's why. Otherwise, why? He would have liked it done in a week. I think that would have been his best case scenario. So, Avril Haines, director of the National Intelligence of the US during annual threat assessment report in Congress, as reported by CNN, details Haynes thinks that the war in Ukraine has become a grinding attritional war in which neither side has a definite military advantage. End quote. But, said the Russian President Vladimir Putin, was likely to carry on, possibly for years. Well, he's not going to give up if that's this, likely to carry on. He's not going to give up. Unless you take care of him in a different ways, as Mr. Lindsey Graham, the senator of South Carolina, clearly expressed and directly. And we thank him for expressing himself so undiplomatically, because that means he was really truthful at that point. Quote, we do not foresee the Russian military recovering enough this year to make major territorial gains. But Putin most likely calculates the time works in his favor. Why? He's one country against 50. Why would he calculate it works in his favor? I mean, yeah, resources, but still. And that prolonging the war, including with potential pauses in the fighting, may be his best remaining pathway to eventually securing Russia's strategic interest in Ukraine, even if it takes a year. Yes, I think that's correct. It's correct. And let's say if United States of America and the rest of the weasels, let's say, this is just, I'm not promoting that, I'm just using my a little bit, okay? As small as it is. What if the West would not have intervened as it did? Would be a prolonged war or not? Well, we had to intervene. Okay, why? Because we're good and that was unprovoked. Okay, end of conversation. Let's go back in the trenches. All right, that's the way these guys think. We have no fault of our own in this whatsoever. And we are the good, and those guys are the evil. Well, thinking like this will not get you to a, sitting at the table and talking about the issue. That means it's like you look at the issue and you say, the issue is because of Gigi, Mikey, and Tsutsu. It's not because of me whatsoever. It can't possibly be because I'm good. I might say almost perfect. Therefore, I cannot be the problem here. Someone else. And I was about to pick my nose, Jesus Christ. And I will look to make sure that each and every action that would fit of Tsutsu, Mikey, and whatever, Gigi, fit my narrative. So I can say, that's what it is. Oh, see that one? That fits over there. So it's his fault. And I say, well, it's your fault. Will I be solving the problem? No. And I will say that guy or the issue exists because of these guys. And I'm going to work on these guys to fix the issue when actually the issue is partly my problem. Or I'm also involved. Could be Tsitsi, Mikey, and Gigi. But if I take myself out, then I will never solve the problem. Or I know exactly, which I think 100%, they know exactly what's going on, and they don't care. They're okay with that. They still smoke their cigars, drinking their bourbon, doing their thing, if you know what I mean, and giving orders. And we go to work every morning, pay our taxes, keep our mouth shut so don't get in trouble and get fired. Therefore, we're not going to have anything to eat. Because if you're going to try to find another job, you're going to need some references. So if you are fired, who are you going to put as references? Therefore, you're going to find only jobs where reference is not really necessary. And that's the way it is. So building a career, working, climbing, and then when you climb, you say something that you're not supposed to. Let's say you get reprimanded. Let's say you get fired. Get another job after you climbed over there. No. References? No. They're going to ask you, hey, Gigi, why? What's going on? They're all assholes over there. And they'll say, yeah, we believe you. No, because they are they. You know what I mean? They're going to deal with you like they dealt. They're on their side, not on yours. So let's go back to these guys here and see what else this Haynes assesses. More details. Haynes added that Russia will likely be unable to sustain even its current modest level of offensive operations in Ukraine without an additional mandatory mobilization and third-party ammunition sources. Very possible, Haynes. Very, very possible. You already are above 50% for me. That means you're not an idiot, or at least they allow you to say this. Good. But she cautioned that a potential spring offensive by Ukraine may be limited by, and I'm quoting, the extent to which Ukrainian forces are having to draw down their reserves and equipment as well as suffer further casualties, end quote, defending against current Russian operations. Well, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you're not an idiot. Okay, good job. Good job. Good job. She was not over there to discuss hate is us who throw coal on the fire and keep it burning, because the justification is the one that I just mentioned. We have to, because otherwise they will attack. We have to defend a freedom and our way of life and democracy and blah 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 blah. Yeah, because the Russians are Huns, maybe even worse. Anyway. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Have intellectual integrity. In this world that we live, we have so many weasels around us that what I just said means nothing. They don't even know, never heard of that word before. Intellectual integrity, that's what you can have, and you don't have to give it to anybody else. It's hard. It's hard. As of now, they cannot take our ability to think yet, or interfere with our thinking. I can think whatever I want right now, looking at that little camera over there, and think whatever I want. As good, naughty, bad I want. And nobody would know yet, and nobody can stop me until they just gonna be hit me in the head and I'm just gonna die or get in a coma or something. Damage my ability to think. But like this, that's my freedom. I'm gonna be like this. In my head, a lot of things are going like this. Or linear, how we want to take it. So yeah, keep that. That's the only thing that really they cannot take it from you. And the passion. They can tame you, but you're still going to be able to think. Well, there's methods of stopping you from thinking as well. But as of now, as I said, we still have this. We can, censor ourselves for protection, self-protection, because we have other people around us that would not care if what you say is right. They would care about threatening their position, their ideology, and their interest. And with people like this, and they will reprimand you in the name of good and justice and love and kindness and all this inclusion and equity and diversity and blah 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 blah. I feel like throwing up when I'm anyway. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart. Look for the truth and be just.